Hi kids, welcome to Kid Connection. Tonight we're starting a new unit called The Great Escape, and we're going to learn what happened to Joseph's family after they moved to Egypt. Joseph's family is called the Israelites, and when they moved to Egypt, they were a big family. But over the years, as they stayed there longer and longer, their family grew and grew and grew. The Bible says the Israelites filled the land. Well, over those years, Joseph grew older and older, and eventually he died. And also, a new Pharaoh, a new king of Egypt, came to power. And he didn't remember Joseph, and he didn't care about the Israelites. In fact, he was scared of the Israelites because there were so many of them. So he made them slaves, and the Egyptians treated them very badly. They were very mean to the Israelites and made them do a lot of really, really hard work. Well, that didn't stop the Israelites from increasing either. They continued to have more and more babies, and their family grew and grew and grew. In fact, the harder the Egyptians treated them, the more the Israelite family grew. So then Pharaoh said, I know what I'm going to do. I command that all the newborn boy babies that belong to the Israelites need to be thrown in the river. That was a horrible plan. A horrible, horrible thing to do to those babies. Well, at that time, there was a husband and a wife, and they had a brand new boy baby. And they were Israelites. So they were supposed to throw the baby into the river. But his mother looked at him and she knew he was a special baby. So she hid him for 3 months. And when she couldn't hide him any longer, she built a basket for him and she waterproofed it. And she put that basket in the river and she let it float down the river. Well, that baby had an older brother and an older sister. And the older sister followed along the riverbank and watched where that basket with the baby in it went. And she followed it until she saw that it floated right up to where the daughter of Pharaoh was bathing. And the daughter of Pharaoh opened the basket and she saw the baby boy and she said, this must be one of the Israelite babies. Well, then the baby's sister went up to the king's daughter and said, would you like me to find an Israelite woman who can take care of that baby? And Pharaoh's daughter said, yeah. So this sister, she went home and she got the very mother, her mother and the baby's mother. And she brought the baby's mother to Pharaoh's daughter. And Pharaoh's daughter gave the baby back to the mom and said, take care of this baby because I'm going to adopt him. Pharaoh's daughter didn't know that it was the baby's mom. So the baby's mom took care of him for a number of years, and then she brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, and Pharaoh's daughter took him to live in the palace with her family. She named the little boy Moses because she said, I drew him out of the water. That is an amazing story, that baby ended up right where the daughter of Pharaoh was bathing, and then his sister was right there to offer to go get a woman to care for the baby, and then the very mother of that baby ended up being the one to take care of him. You know, our big idea of the night is God can send people to help you. God is in charge of everything. He works everything out according to his plan. It didn't surprise God that baby floated right down to where Pharaoh's daughter was bathing. It didn't surprise God that the baby's sister was there to offer to bring an Israelite woman to care for the baby. It didn't surprise God that the baby's very mother was the one who got to take care of him before he went to live in the palace. And it didn't surprise God that baby ended up in the palace. God has all the authority. He makes all the plans, and he makes sure those plans happen. There are some people that God has put into your life too. Can you think of some people that God has put in your life to help you? Maybe your mom and dad. Maybe you have a brother or a sister. Or maybe you have a friend or a neighbor. The people who are in your life were put there by God because He's working a plan for you. How about you? Are you somebody that God has sent to help someone else? Think about the people in your life. Who can you help? What can you do for someone else? And serve God so that God's plan for that person is exactly what happens. It's exciting to know that when God makes a plan, He makes all the people that He needs to put in place for that plan come together and to work it out. It's exciting to know that God can bring people to help us, that He's in charge, and sometimes He'll even use us to help others as part of His plan. We have a couple of Bible verses this week. We have Colossians 3:20 that says, "Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord." Why do you think we're learning that Bible verse this week? Well, I think it's because your parents are people that God has put into your life, not only to help you, but also to accomplish His plan for you. So if God put your parents in your life to accomplish His plan for you, to make His plan for you work out, then obey your parents because God is working on your life through them. And then we have a second Bible verse, Psalm 46:10. "Be still and know that I am God." I think we're learning that verse for this unit because if we know that God is in charge, that He has all authority, that He's the one making everything happen the way it happens, then we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have to be upset. We don't have to be agitated. We don't have to worry. We can just rest and be still and trust that God is in charge of everything. And He can send people to help us, and He can make sure that His plan for our life is exactly what happens for us. Well, kids, look for ways that God is working through other people in your life. Memorize your verses and also look to serve other people so that God can use you as part of His plan for someone else's life too. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.